people used to call cancer the big C. They didn't want to say cancer. It was a death sentence. In the last 10 years, cancer awareness has undergone a renaissance. Today, the big C to me is cure, not cancer.
The Moments in Time calendars have become a familiar sight in offices, boardrooms and homes throughout South Africa. For the past 9 years, people have been moved by their stunning beauty and the messages of hope and courage of the cancer sufferers featured in them. "13 people have appeared in each calendar. These brave warriors of light came from all walks of life, young and old, male and female, rich and poor. Many of them have fought the battle against cancer and won. Some, sadly, have not. But in spite of their differences, they share a common bond. They have accepted and embraced their challenges and have chosen to live life to the full. Professor Matt House is the Executive Medical Director of AstraZeneca Pharmaceuticals South Africa and Project Director of Moments in Time. He found wisdom in the writings of great existential philosophers and has been especially impacted by Viktor Frankl's proposition that we have the ultimate freedom to choose our inner state of being, irrespective of external circumstances.
What happened concurrently was that in the work that I do is also dealing with people who have cancer, that when one observed them, one saw right in front of one's eyes two things. At the beginning, when the diagnosis was made, despair, darkness, pain. But the transformation to see them later was that they had let go the small stuff. They became more powerful. They became beacons of light within their community. And when I married that observation with Viktor Frankl's work, it was clear to me that they had indeed chosen their attitude under any given set of circumstances. That is man's final freedom.
Planning for the 2011 product range began in June 2010. Each member of the core team has their say, and there's no shortage of ideas. This year, it was decided to focus on the trust itself and a few of its beneficiaries. And instead of bringing the people to the camera, as in previous years, we sent cameras to the people.
I think in the past we've kind of tended to glamorize the people and almost create aspirational images of each person. And this year the whole nature of the project was completely different because we sent out disposable cameras to people that had been helped by the trust and got them to actually photograph things that were important and close to their heart.
One of the Trust's beneficiaries is Lucky Sitole, unemployed, orphaned at a young age, and a sufferer of the most common form of cancer in South Africa, skin cancer. Lucky was born without any skin pigmentation, a medical condition known as albinism. He has to walk many kilometers to the nearest clinic, and it was there that the early signs of skin cancer were first discovered. With the help of his doctor, Lucky applied for and received a grant from the Moments in Time Trust.
Mina thathe lo mali ngithenga ukudla neimpahla zokugqoka nani futhi nokunye kwala ndlini.
Lucky has accepted that he has cancer and that it may be life-threatening, but he doesn't like to talk about it.
Hey, lokho angicabanga kakhulu. Yeah. Futhi angitsheni umuntu. Lona imfihlo yami lena. Imfihlo yami, my secret.
Applications for funding from the Trust is managed by Nikki Bacon at Simon Says Communications.
There are two criteria in order to benefit from the Trust. Firstly, you need to be a South African citizen and you can't be benefiting from a medical aid.
Cancer sufferers without medical aid can almost always get treatment free of charge from government hospitals. But what is often overlooked are the additional costs associated with getting treatment. Things like special diets, toiletries, and transport.
My hospital from here, National Hospital, is about 12 kilos. I had to wake up about 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I haven't got money that time for the taxi, but I go by foot to the hospital.
Peter was too sick to work and worried about how he was going to support his family. Then, during one of his visits to the hospital, he noticed the Moments in Time poster in the hospital's waiting room. With the help of his doctor, he applied to the Trust for help.
In our culture, especially when you are a man and you see you are sick, you are going to die, the only worries was my wife and my kids. The money I get from the Trust, they help me a lot.
Peter's motto is each one, teach one, and it has become his life's purpose to teach everyone who will listen about prostate cancer.
You tell this man, you learn this man about cancer at the age of 40 years. You must start, go and check it. Then he knows about it, he's going to tell the next person, and that one's going to tell the next person, just like that, you see.
All applications for funding are sent through to 5 Moments in Time trustees, among them some of the country's leading oncologists. One of them is Dr. Farida Desai, who is based at the Red Cross Children's Hospital in Cape Town.
When we look at applications for assistance, we look at the financial circumstances of the applicant. For example, have they got medical insurance? Are they employed? Is there any other income? Then we look at the medical diagnosis and what the treatment entails. And then thirdly, what they are actually asking funds for.
A maximum of 20,000 Rand per application is allowed. But in most cases, patients ask for much less, sometimes as little as a few hundred Rand.
Good morning, Adele. My name is Nikki. I'm calling from the Moments in Time Trust in Johannesburg with regards to your application for funding. On approval of the application, I phone the applicant back to let them know that it's been approved and that a cheque is on its way to them. And it is very heart-lifting.
I was glad, because I was worried. I didn't know my dad was going to get any money, and that helped. "5 years ago, Adele Kriel was a happy, carefree teenager enjoying life.
She was fascinated with film stars like Marilyn Monroe and was well on the way to realizing her dream of becoming a model. Then, at the age of just 16, she was diagnosed with leukemia.
The cancer made me feel sick, emotional, depressed, most of the time sick.
She and her family were devastated. She went straight into a treatment program and was too sick to complete her matric.
Everything was just down, just sitting at home waiting for the next time to go to the hospital again. Yeah, I actually thought I was going to die.
Like most other patients suffering from cancer in one or other form, her parents faced massive financial strain as the bills began to mount.
The Moments in Time Trust did make a difference in my life because we were struggling to get the money, and every little helps. And then my dad got a phone call from them and they said that they have a certain amount of money that they would like to give me.
Dr. Desai has treated thousands of young cancer sufferers like Adele over the past 29 years and is greatly encouraged by the fact that the cure rate is improving all the time.
The overall cure rate for childhood cancer is in the vicinity of 70%. But some children have an even higher cure rate, for example, girls with standard risk leukemia or a stage 1 Wilms tumor or a kidney tumor, where the cure rate might be as high as 90%.
For Dr. Desai and for Nikki, the Moments in Time Trust offers them a wonderful opportunity to help people live a better life.
There's no way that it can't affect you. I think everybody that works on the Moments in Time project, on the project and on the trust, feels it. They feel the energy. The other girls in the office who receive calls from people needing money, they hear the stories too, and there's not one person that isn't touched by it.
A key member of the creative team is Marvelien van der Merwe, one of South Africa's leading photographers. Her stunning portraits in previous calendars have always captured the message of hope and courage, epitomized by the Moments in Time concept. But this year, she has taken on a different role.
As a photographer, my background is fashion and advertising, and I absolutely love it. So previous years, we had the opportunity to choose people we were shooting and then incorporate them with the proper makeup, styling, and the whole process that's involved in a shoot, which of course is what I love to do. So this year it's a total different approach. It's a very honest approach. It's more documentary because the people are photographing themselves. There's no creative team like hair and makeup and styling involved.
Well, it's amazing, Marvelien. Thanks for laying these all out. It's quite amazing that you've been able to get this quality from a little camera. I mean, what was the process? How did you get it?
You know, Matt, when you initially suggested we should send disposable cameras to potential people we want to involve, I really doubted the quality. Surprisingly, this is what we got. It really exceeded my expectations.
It's amazing, but you haven't treated these yet. You haven't put
No, what I actually did, you know, when you and everybody sent out the cameras and now we received it back, I thought, I am not going to read the stories. Because the minute I read the people's stories, I get too involved. But visually wanting to art direct it, I mainly look at the images.
What are you going to do with them? Are you going to use exactly what they've shot and then perhaps add a bit of color, or,
yes.
or how do you go about
You
this?
see, as we mentioned before, we want to keep it as truthful and authentic as possible. But in post-production, of course, we have to enhance the pictures to look like something. So if we look at Kadisha, she's the youngest one of the people, of the beneficiaries this year that benefited out of the trust. She styled herself in a real rock and roll way, which is amazing.
She looks like she's at the Moulin Rouge in Paris. You know, it's showtime.
Another one.
had cancer, but I just was telling myself to take one step at a time.
For most of us, Valentine's Day is a day of romance and happiness, a gentle reminder of the goodness in life and the many things we should be grateful for. But for Khadisha Pillay, it represents a time of darkness, a reminder of the day when her life was set to change forever. On the 14th of February 2007, she was diagnosed with leukemia.
She used to play sport a lot, and we called her a tomboy because that's the personality she portrayed. And it was during one of her cricket practices we found that she was out of breath and tired easily. So we took her to see the pediatrician, and on the first blood test they diagnosed that she had a high cancer count, and the doctor said to us that she had leukemia.
They sent me up to Cape Town. They told me that they're going to do a thing called bone marrow transplant, and that I'll be there for like 6 to 8 months around there, and I'll be sick all the time.
My wife had to leave work, with modern days you have to have 2 people working to make it, and straight away it put a financial burden upon us, and then the medical bills were a lot because we didn't have medical aid, so we fell short in a big way.
When the people of Onkumas, the small seaside town where Khadisha lives, heard about the Pillay family's plight, they quickly formed a committee and sprang into action.
We got the newspapers involved, and once they heard that the child needs this bone marrow transplant, they all came on board, and we made it a success.
Within just 2 months, the community raised over 600,000 rand for Khadisha's bone marrow transplant. One of the major contributors was the Moments in Time Trust.
It was thousands of rands that we had to come up with, and we just couldn't, we didn't have it. And if guys like Moments in Time didn't come through for us, we don't know what would have happened to us. We would have had to turn our back and say we can't do this.
Tomorrow. Yes, we have the desk calendars and we have to do the DVD designs.
The design of the final products is the responsibility of Renee Neal and her team at Brainwave Communications. Renee received dozens of pictures from Aveline, all in different settings and with varying colors and textures. Most of the pictures were of the patients themselves, but many had included pictures of their pets, their homes, and their families.
We wanted to capture all of that, and the best way to do that is through a collage of a whole lot of different images in that. In the previous years, we've kind of highlighted one image that is really the hero image, and in this version, we've had so many really great images that actually capture the essence of the people, and it seems a pity not to have them all in. So we've ended up landing up, being quite complicated in the layout and that, showing all these images,
and making each individual a hero.
Yeah, but letting it be what it is. The project has its own momentum, so you kind of feed off each other and you're inspired continuously by each other, and it's amazing what comes out of it. The whole creative process, you don't really know what you're going to land up with. So you start off with one idea, and by the time we've kind of gone to like month 12, it's like this whole other new experience. So it's been very interesting and exciting for, I think, all of us to work this way.
Thembelihle said he's a bit of a musician. So what we did with his is try to make, he's quite a funky young guy, so I tried to keep the font quite funky. And then I played with the typography, which becomes like a record player. So his story is in the form of a record player, which is quite funky. And then also introducing the record.
Thembelihle lives and breathes music. It inspires him and nourishes his soul. As a successful music producer and performer, he seemed destined for great things in the music world. Until in 2009, he realized something was terribly wrong.
I started having headaches for a good 5 months actually, like continuous headaches. And they were getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It got to a point where by one day I just had an epileptic seizure, and I'd never had that all my life.
After numerous tests and MRI scans, Thembelihle was diagnosed with brain lesions. He became very sensitive to radiation from cell phones and other electrical apparatus, and it became extremely difficult to work. Without the money received from the trust, he says he would not have been able to survive. But Thembelihle is a man of great courage and took a conscious decision not to let his illness change the way he lives.
When you walked away from me, you took a part of me with you. I don't know if I'll ever find myself again. Yeah, baby, well, I've tried to move on, but the thought of you keeps coming back. Yeah, I love you, and I need you, and I want you back.
What's unique about me is that music is my passion, and music is something that I find as a good medium to inspire yourself. Even you can even encourage other people with the songs that you make and write and all that.
There was an air of excitement in late August when the core Moments in Time team gathered at the Fairlawns Boutique Hotel in Johannesburg to view René's design concepts for the first time.
The contact sheets that we got back from all the disposable cameras were so amazing. We thought, why not integrate that and actually make that more of a statement?
It's quite amazing. The previous years we did just have one picture, and now we've got this wonderful collage.
Yeah,
Have you worked
all the
with
hard
Jill?
work is finally paid off when you see the actual product. That's the satisfying part. And when you see people's reactions to it, that's like the best part of the job.
Yeah.
Can do that.
Have a look, that's a wonderful idea, this wall plan. I guess it will be carried through into
all the other
elements.
Yes, instead of doing a conventional wall calendar, we thought, what happens if each of the pages or the months actually fold up into a box, and then so you get a series, you get all the 12 months actually folded up like this. So then it gives people the option to actually do with the calendar what they want. So they can hang it up on the wall, they can put it on their fridge or do whatever.
I think people are going to have to think long and hard. Do they put it on their fridge that way or that way?
Yeah.
You know, it's so beautiful. Maybe they'll have 2 sets of press stick for each month, you know. But that is in itself,
That's fabulous.
it's absolutely fantastic. What do you think, Maybelline?
I absolutely love it because the disposable cameras allowed us to do this, not to print one major big image. I think that's where the idea came from. But this gives a very special, authentic look, René. I mean, you couldn't have done better.
Corby, you always do the appointments for the media, the interviews, the radio, the television. I've got to wake up at 7 in the morning or 6. What are your thoughts about what are you going to tell the people you ask for a slot?
You know, Matt, every project since I've been involved has really been inspiring. More than anything, it's the messages within the calendar. I mean, just looking at Sydney, I feel like I'm looking at my own grandfather. So I'm very excited to be selling in the stories of these calendars, and you may just need to wake up a bit earlier.
I need you to get it out. Get it out.
Finally, the product range has been decided, the designs are approved, and the printing presses begin to roll. The task of manufacturing the entire range of Moments in Time products falls on the shoulders of Richard Collins and his company, Phoenix Design.
I've been associated with Moments in Time for the last good couple of years, 6 or 7 years. And during that time, it's become far more than just a print project. It's become something quite unique and very, very near and dear to my heart. In fact, I've been privileged to become part of the core team of the Moments in Time project, and I must say that my life has not been the same since.
All the money raised from the sale of the products goes into the Moments in Time Trust. So the more products that are sold, the more struggling cancer sufferers can be helped.
Our role in the Moments in Time project is to help get the message out there, to take all the beautiful work and the products that are produced and all the patient stories and to communicate them to a wider audience. Bev, do you want to just run through if there's anybody on your side who might work for strong media interviews?
I'll start with Kadesha Pillay. She's a 12-year-old little girl from Natal, Umkamas. So her media circle will definitely start in Natal local papers, East Coast Radio, Daily News, etc.
This year we have an exciting range of products, and there's products that are going to appeal to every audience. And we really hope that people are going to be touched and moved and look at this as not just a calendar that they can hang on their wall or a song that they can listen to or a diary that they can use, but something that when they purchase it, they're giving life to somebody else. So it's a gift of hope, it's a gift of love.
We've gone live with Facebook. We've called it the Moments in Time project. We're hoping we'll have a lot more opportunity to interact with people through Facebook and social media.
The beauty of working on this project is that the ambassadors, should we call them that, the people who are featured in the project, they do all the really hard work. It's their stories that move people. It's what they say, their sound bites. So we just have to be the conduit that helps get their stories out to the media. They sell the project. They are the project.
I think the way it's grown over the years has been a testimony to those people who have been part of the calendar, not only the people living with cancer, but the team, the Moments in Time team.
Every day there's something new that you kind of experience from working on this kind of a project.
I think it's the authenticness and the honesty.
For me, it makes me sit up and go, life is precious. Every moment is precious.
It really opens your eyes, it broadens your perspective.
We're helping everybody that supports and loves that person.
Every moment in time that we live is something to be treasured, and that's what the project does for me.
It's not about what we have, it's not about material possessions. It's really about people and relationships.
It's very, very hard. I don't think I can do it justice to actually explain emotionally what I get out of it.
I don't think we'll ever be able to measure the extent that we've helped people.
All of the wonderful people we met this year have faced a crossroads in their life. So easily they could have succumbed to the desperate fear that must have gripped each and every one of them when they heard their diagnosis for the first time. Instead, all have embraced their illness, accepted that it is now a part of who they are, and chosen to live their lives to the full.
Cancer taught me to never give up, no matter what happened, and always be brave.
Zonke insuku uyabona ngivuka ekuseni yabona ngingakhulumeli namuntu bese lapho ngiyajabula angithandi ukudinwa kakhona ngihlezi ngijabulile nje zonke insuku.
The time when I'm still living like this, I can save million lives. Yeah, million lives.
I used to think that I was like, how can I say, God punished me for giving me this, for giving me cancer. And as I started getting into it, I was thinking to myself, He didn't give it to me to punish me, He gave it to me maybe to open other people's eyes or help other people that's also got it and show them how I react to my cancer.
I believe everyone here on earth has been put on a purpose. I mean, you've got some God-given gift that's been put inside you, and it's your duty to actually explore that gift and make it into something beautiful.
When I heard the name cancer, I thought already, cancer, I'm dead. But after this operation, starting learning about cancer, I feel to say, no, cancer, we can fight it. Yeah, just like me, you can fight it. You can kill cancer.
Suffering without meaning is despair, but suffering with meaning is hope and joy.